Now, we have some fairly exciting things happening around the solar eclipse in mid-February, and then again in August at the follow-up solar eclipse, which happens on August the 12th. Both eclipses fall in the Leo Aquarius axis, a sign polarity that I've been talking about quite a lot since July, August 2025, when we had that Star of David or Merkaba aspect pattern happening between the 3rd and the 6th of August. So, as you may already know from my previous podcast, the lunar nodes are currently oscillating between these fire and air signs on one hand and the Virgo Pisces axis on the other, which is why we have such a mixed bag of eclipses from a sign perspective this year. In essence, what's happening is that we are at a cuspal or a liminal moment where we're kind of crossing over. We haven't quite finished working through all the Earth and the water transits that have been taking place since 2024, when the Virgo Pisces eclipses began. But simultaneously, we're also in the process of shifting into the fire and air stuff that began in earnest in February, March 2025, when Saturn and Neptune changed signs, shifting from watery Pisces into fiery Aries. And this will accelerate around the fixed sign eclipses in February and August. Now, both of these coincide with a ton of planetary activity, starting with a sextile between Saturn and Uranus on January the 20th, and culminating in a trine between Uranus and Pluto on November the 29th. As I've discussed in previous podcasts, many of these form part of a larger triangle aspect pattern that's been forming between Uranus and Sedna in Gemini, Saturn and Neptune in Aries, and Pluto in Aquarius. This has been coming in and out of orb due to things like retrograde periods. Again, something that I plan to get into a little further on in this video. Now, looking ahead to February, which is when we should really feel a major vibe shift, the Aquarius solar eclipse takes place in Bernadette Brady's 10 North Saros series. And this began at the North Pole in about 944 CE with a solar eclipse in Taurus. So we talk about fixed energy here. And this eclipse will also be in a fixed sign that's taking place in Aquarius. So there may be a certain degree of unnegotiability about it. There can be a sense of like, this is inevitable, we can't do anything about it, which can feel a little bit oppressive. And the themes associated with it are censorship and bureaucracy. So frustrating or inhibiting events, often connected to communications like the news or announcements or social media, that kind of thing. So we can see that there's a continuation from the last solar eclipse and the now new North Saros series, where we were talking about worrying developments or occurrences to do with paperwork and admin and that kind of stuff. So it could be now that there's an official element to this element of bureaucracy in play, a development, like another step on. Now, when it comes to the media and the news, we've also seen these themes develop around censorship and so-called freedom of speech. And on the other hand, the need for regulation and these things needing to be balanced so that they benefit the greater good and the majority of people. But that gives you a flavor of the 10 North Saros series.